guys! I'm so excited for today's video because today we are going to be playing with my Glamlite Donut palette. I've already played with this a little bit off camera, but I did want to do a video with this because a lot of you guys said you really wanted to see me do something with this palette. So that's basically what this video is going to be. I guess this will also be kind of like my review since I have already played with this, but I already know I love it. So I've done some swatches on my Instagram with this already. I will have those on the screen so you can see them so that I don't have to like do them live again in this video, and I will also pop up the look on the screen that I did with this palette. And I had such a good time playing with this. Glamlite has one of my favorite formulas. I know I say this over and over and over, but their mattes are spectacular. Some of their shimmers can be a little bit tricky to work with, but ever since I found my NYX glitter primer, I haven't had any issues with any of them. So I'm just excited to dig in. I think that's all I wanted to say in the intro. I feel like that was very quick. But I also do have some other products that I want to test out with you guys on camera. So I have this Nabla highlighter. I will link my haul video that I did showing a bunch of new products. If you kind of missed that, I will link that in the corner because I have so many new things. And I also got a wonderful package from one of you guys. I mean, thank you so much. I wasn't expecting this at all. And she sent me 3 different eyeshadow primers. So I do want to test out one of these today. She sent me the ABH primer, which I have actually tried before. I only tried it once and I didn't really love it. So I'm probably going to pop this one in a giveaway and then pull out the ABH primer that I actually have myself and give that another chance because I know so many people love that primer. And maybe I just didn't give it like enough of a chance to prove to me how good or bad it really is. She also sent me the Hourglass Primer as well as the Viseart Primer. So I am honestly really excited because I love testing out new eyeshadow primers. So I think for today's look, I want to use the Hourglass one just because I've never seen anyone really talk about it. I didn't even know they had an eyeshadow primer. So this one is called the Hourglass Veil Primer. So I'm gonna go ahead and just prime one eye with this one, and then I'm going to prime the other eye with a primer that I know I like. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my Kaleidos primer on this eye, and then I'm gonna use my Hourglass primer on this eye. So the Hourglass primer is more of a clear primer, which isn't really my favorite. It looks like it has a little bit of pigment to it. It reminds me of one of the Urban Decay primers, which I have not used in, God, I don't know how long. This is very, very sticky. This is going to be very interesting. This is not the kind of primer that I'm used to working with. And I'm applying this with my finger because I don't know how much I need of this. So it's just a little bit easier to kind of control this. So I'm just going to leave that to kind of dry a little bit here. And then I'm going to prime my other eye with my Kaleidos primer. And I'm curious to see what happens since I have one primer with some pigment to it now on this side. It doesn't have like a lot of coverage, but it has enough that it definitely covers up if you have any kind of staining from the day before or any kind of discoloration on your lid. It definitely covers enough for that. So I'm really interested to see if there's going to be a difference because usually when I do test out like primers side by side, I can definitely tell like how the shadows are laying on top and like what the difference really is. Let's see. I kind of have a plan for the look that I want to do today, which is kind of going to be weird. I don't know. I have this idea in my head and I was watching my friend Anki. I will have her linked up in the corner if you guys haven't checked her out, but she was wearing this beautiful look where she had like a color in the crease as well as underneath the eye, and then she used another color kind of like as a winged out shape, and it just looked so pretty. So I kind of want to do something similar, and I want to test out some of the shades in here that I haven't really played too much with. So I do want to use the brown. I know, I'm sorry, that's kind of boring, but I didn't use that in my look that I did off camera, so I do want to just kind of test it out and see how I feel about it. I also want to use this one, so I feel like these two together could look kind of cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and start by taking this turquoise here, which is called Frosty, and I'm going to use that on my Revlon number 13 brush and just put this in my whole crease. Also today when I'm filming this, I don't know when this is going up, but I saw that Revlon actually has the number 13 and the number 14 brush in the concept store for half off again. I know a lot of you guys missed out last time they did that, so if you were wanting to pick up one of these brushes, they are now available for like half off. I don't have a code or anything like that, but I thought I would just let you guys know still because there seem to still be a lot of people who missed out last time. So this color is so beautiful. I mean, look at that. It's so stunning and so bright. Oh, I just love it. So I'm making sure on the outer portion here that I'm gonna have room for that brown. So I don't want to pull this all the way out here. And I'm kind of keeping this in a bit of a round shape. I don't think I'm gonna have to go in and do a cut crease if I just make sure that I place this exactly where it is that I want it to be. I'm also gonna obviously do it on this side. We'll see how this primer goes. I mean, that is gripping very nicely and the shadow looks very pigmented on top of it. Let me know if any of you guys have tried the Hourglass eyeshadow primer and how you feel about it. Maybe I need to be more open to playing with like clear primers because I don't really feel like I need that much pigment on my lids. Maybe it's just like in my head sometimes that I feel like I'm just more biased to primers that do have more base pigment to it. But this is laying down so beautifully. I almost think that I like the pigmentation more on this side. I'm also going to take this same color underneath my eye here, so I'm not going to end up using probably too many of the mattes in this, but I have played with all of the other mattes, like I said, by myself, and they are really, really, really nice. I'm unfortunately not going to have time to do a 3 looks with this palette. I'm so sorry, like I wish I could, and I know a lot of you really wanted me to do that, but I simply just have way too many things right now, and my filming schedule, like I said in a couple of other videos, I just don't know like how much I'm gonna be able to film, so I just can't promise that I'm going to do multiple looks videos with any of the things that I'm currently playing with. It might have to wait until I get something new that really inspires me, but just know that I love this palette and I wish I could do like 20 looks with it because it's very inspiring to me, and even though it doesn't have that many colors in it, I really feel like this color story is very well put together and very versatile, and I feel like you could get so many different looks. I absolutely love colors like this. So what I'm gonna do next, I know this is going to probably look a bit crazy and be a weird color combination, but I'm just trying to do something that's different than the look that I did in my first impression, or I don't know why I keep saying first impression because I didn't actually film it, but you know what I mean. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the brown here, and this one is called Chocolate. And I'm switching to my Morphe E36, which is a very, very small pencil brush. I'm gonna start by placing this in the outer corner of my eye here where I want this to be. I am also going to wing this out a little bit, but I don't think I want this to be like a super, super winged out look, just enough that you can kind of see this when my eyes are open here. And I'm gonna try not to blend these in together too much and just kind of pack it on first and then blend very gently in my crease. I might have to clean this up just a little bit after because I'm not doing the best job at being precise here, but I think this is kind of like what I'm looking at right now. And then for my lid, I haven't 100% decided yet, but I do think I want to use a little bit of probably the bronze shade, which I know, again, it's crazy that I'm here like filming a video with this palette and using like both of the neutral shades because that's so not me at all. But like I said before, I just want to kind of test out the shades that I feel like I haven't really played with too much. But don't worry, I am going to really spice this look up after and you'll see what I mean. And I'm so excited to show you guys what I plan on doing. So I am just going to connect this ever so slightly just on my lower lash line here just to get a little bit of a better blend and angle on the wing here. Okay, so I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Do I want to do anything else? I think I am just going to blend a little bit extra with the crease shade that I used just to make sure that these are kind of merging together in the outer portion here. And I'll probably go in with a little bit more of that brown as well. Oh, and I don't know if I said this in the beginning of the video, but Glamlite actually sent me this palette. I know I said it in my other videos, and so I kind of just forgot to mention it today, but they did send me this, and it made me so happy because it's one of those brands that I love, and so being recognized by them and having them know that I love their brand so much, enough that they want to send me something, that just means a lot. So as for the eyeshadow primer, I totally forgot that I was even wearing a different eyeshadow primer on this side because I felt like they performed exactly the same, which is good because I really like my Kaleidos primer, and that means I really like the Hourglass primer as well. Are these even? I feel like this wing is not as big. Maybe I need to fix that. But first I'm gonna go into the bronze shade here. I think that's what I want to use. I'm not sure I'm going to love this color combination, to be honest, but I really just want to kind of play with some of these shadows. So I'm gonna grab this right here. I'm not going to use any glitter primer with this one because I do plan on actually topping this with something else after. I am going to spray it just a little bit with some Fix Plus though to make sure I don't have any fallout. And I'm gonna start by placing this in the, holy cow, that is so metallic. That's honestly a really nice bronze, and I don't even like bronze eyeshadows, but like, that's pretty. And I am tapping this into my crease ever so slightly here without over blending, but I do want there to be a bit of a blend. I don't want this to look like a cut crease. Ooh, I just really like Glamlite's formula. Both of the mattes and the shimmers just perform so well. I'm actually going to leave this the way it is right now because I want to go in with something else. I know I don't usually do this in like first impressions or whatever, but this isn't a first impression to me anyway, and it's not really a review either. So I want to play with this, and you guys are gonna die when you see this. So this is called the Dragon Prism palette. This is from an Australian indie brand called Enchanted Lustre Cosmetics, and look at the inside of this. So this is basically like kind of a duochrome shifty all shimmery palette, and I really want to test out a couple of these because I know that if I do a video with this, I'm just not going to be able to use more than like 1 or 2 on my eyes, because with shimmers it's tough, especially shifty shimmers like this. You just can't really like layer too many of them next to each other because it just ends up being overwhelming. So like I said, I do want to test out some of these, and I think I want to use this one. Ooh, maybe not that one, maybe it's this one. That one is really pretty. Let's see, what about this one? It's so hard to like really see what they look like. That one could be really pretty too. Oh, this is so hard. I want to pop one on the inner portion of my lid as well as one like underneath my eye. Ooh, I think this is the one I'm going to use on my lid. So that is this shadow right here. I do have a couple of things I do want to say about this palette when I do make a video with it. And the first thing is that there are no shade names on this. So I don't know what this actual shade is called, but I'm going to grab the shade here. I am going to put down a little bit of glitter primer for this one though, because I feel like this is the kind of topper shadow shade, you know what I mean. This is the kind of shade that I feel like is just going to really benefit from having a tacky base, because it is a little bit on the dry, crumbly side. So I just want to make sure that I put down something for this one to really grip onto. I am layering this quite a bit over that bronze shade so that I can really get the full effect of the shadow. And then I'm just using the same brush here to pick that up. Would you see the shift on that brush? And I'm just going to, wow, okay. I'm just gonna put that on the rest of my lid here. I'm also going to, like I said, layer it over the bronze. I don't know how well these are gonna go together, but we're gonna find out. I mean, that is really pretty. I mean, I do feel like this color combination is a little bit all over the place, but you know what? I don't even care, because I just wanted to sit down and have some fun with eyeshadows today. I will say with this shadow, it's definitely on the sheer side, so I kind of wish I took that bronze shade all the way in, because I can kind of see my skin a little bit through here. It could also just be the reflection because it is so reflective, but I think that this shadow is better used like on top of something instead of trying to make it super opaque or just as an inner corner shade. But like, holy cow, that's so pretty. And I'm probably going to be doing this quite a bit coming up, kind of pulling in other things with the palettes that I'm using, because some of the things that have come into my collection are just, you know, the kind of shadows that you don't just use on your own. Like I have some of the Cliona multichromes, like the Vibrant bundle. I also have some of the like lighter iridescent ones that are more meant for like inner corner shades and stuff. And I feel like a lot of the time I just feel kind of restricted when I use only one palette, because I feel like I can't really pull in other brands or other things in my review videos, because I want people to be able to recreate the looks that I do. But like with a look like this, you obviously don't have to use a shadow like this if you want to do something similar. You could easily just use maybe the pink in the palette and then layer a bit of a light highlighter on top. Like there are so many things you can do to get a similar effect without using the same products. But if I'm going to actually be able to review some of the things that I've been sent, I need to be able to use them in videos where I use other things as well. And I hope that you guys understand that. These shadows are just complementing each other so nicely. I really feel like pulling in like this cool toned, very stark shimmer really pull this together. What do I want to do next? I do feel like this look is still kind of crazy, but it is what it is. Let's see, I want to do a little pop on my lower lash line as well. And I'm thinking, is that gonna go with it? Maybe this one. It's so hard with these kind of shadows because you don't really, ooh, that's pretty. You don't really know like exactly what they're gonna look like, because when you see this now, you see it green, but when I look in the palette, I see it blue. So it's like, it's so shifty and strange. It reminds me so much of like the Cliona multichromes. Maybe I'll take a little bit of, ooh, that's beautiful. This is a very, very kind of chunky, flaky shade, which it's supposed to be like this, but it's not the kind of formula that I've really played with at all. Like, it's very, very chunky, and you can see it like in the palette itself here too. It's a super like interesting and unique formula, so I definitely think I'm going to put down a little bit of glitter primer under my eye as well, which is something that I normally don't like to do. But I really think that this is going to help me not only get a good application under my eye, but it's also going to help me pick up the shadow a little bit easier because my brush will be a bit sticky. So I'm just popping that in like the front portion of my lower lash line. And I'm gonna dip into this unnamed shadow that I don't know what it's called. And I'm fully expecting this to look kind of like chunky and uneven because that's just kind of how this formula is meant to be. It's kind of like a flaky formula, but I think that it can be smoothed out if you just kind of work it into the skin here. This is so interesting. I haven't used anything like this before. So I think I'm okay with how this is looking. I am very tempted to go in and just clean up a little bit on my lines here because I feel like it's just looking a little bit messy. So I'm not going to use any concealer or anything. I'm just going to take some of my face powder here and just kind of buff a little bit on the edge, and this will help clean it up while also making it look blended still and not like it's a really, really harsh line. I think this is where I'm gonna go ahead and leave it with the eyes. I'm gonna finish off just quickly with my eyes, and then I'll come back and we can finish off with the rest of the face together, because I also want to use this new Nabla highlighter and just kind of test that one out. Okay, so I am back and I think I like this look. I can't quite decide how I feel about this color combination. Like, I feel like it kind of works. I feel like with my headband, if I had like a blue headband, it would look a little bit better, but you know what? I don't think I do, so I'm gonna leave this on. Let's go ahead and finish off with the face. I'm actually gonna take my Juno Co. This is the new palette that they sent me, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab the kind of pinky purpley shade down here. I feel like that's gonna go very nicely with the lid shades that I have on. And I'll pop the name of this palette on the screen because I do not know how to pronounce it and I don't want everybody to come for me again. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that as my blush here. And then I think I'm going to use the Ofra highlighter as my, did I say Ofra? I meant Nabla. I'm gonna use the Nabla highlighter as my highlighter. I'm very curious to see what the hype about those highlighters is all about because I haven't tried them before. Oh, this is such a beautiful, beautiful blush. It's maybe a little bit too light for me. Now that I still have a little bit of a tan left, I don't have much of a tan anymore because honestly, I've been hibernating for the last, I want to say month. I don't remember last time I was out in the sun for more than just going to the mailbox, to be honest, because it's just been so stinking hot here that it's unbearable. It's not even fun anymore. Like, I hate the summer when it gets this hot. Let's go ahead and try this highlighter. So like I said, this is from Nabla. It's one of these skin glazing ones, minus in the shade Privilege. I'm not sure it's gonna really go with this look, but we're gonna try it anyway because I'm here and I want to test it out. So I'm not sure which brush is going to be the best with this, but I'm gonna try with the brush that I normally use, and this is one of my Refer eyeshadow brushes. It's definitely not the most intense, but it does seem to be quite buildable. If you saw my Wet n Wild video that I did using one of their face palettes, this basically looks exactly like this highlighter, and I don't know, I don't love this if I'm being honest. It's very just, I don't know, a lot softer than I thought it would be, and it's not really giving me what I was wanting out of this. Let me see if I have a denser brush that I can use. Let me take the Sigma FO3 that everybody seems to rave about and love. I mean, I like this highlighting brush. It's just a little bit too big for my face, I feel like. I mean, it's not nice. It's just, I feel the same way about this highlighter as I do with the fancy skull highlighter from Melt. It's just very underwhelming, you know? Like, I had really high expectations and this did not meet my expectations at all. I'm gonna find something else that I can layer on top of this. I'm gonna take some of my Kaleidos highlighter. This one is Mars Melter, which is the one that has a bit of a kind of reddish pinky shift to it, and I'm just gonna layer that on top. Now, this one isn't the most intense highlighter in the world either, but I just feel like, I mean, do you see that? Like, you can definitely see the difference when I layer that on top, how much more intense it got. And that makes me so sad about the Nabla highlighter because, like I said, so many people seem to absolutely love that formula, and I'm over here, I'm like, I don't get it. Let's see. Let's finish off with lips. What do I want to use? What's really gonna go with this? Nothing. So I want to try one of these. These are from Revlon. It's the Super Lustrous Shine Lipsticks. I got sent their whole bundle, or not the whole bundle, but I got sent a bunch of their matte ones quite a while ago, and I actually got another package from them with a bunch of these in it, so I want to test it out. This has been in my P.O. box for like, I don't know, since March, and I never got a notification from the post office that this package was here, and I feel really bad because I haven't, like, you know, thanked them for sending me this because I didn't even know I had it, and it's just been in there for ages. I am going to line my lips though because these are like very, very shiny and a little bit on the sheer side. So I'm going to take this NYX eyeliner just because it's kind of the same color. This one is in the shade Bedrose. And I did fill my lips in a little bit because these are on the sheer side. So I will show you what they look like. So this is kind of like one of those gloss stick formulas. I don't know if you've seen the L'Oreal ones. Marc Jacobs has one. I'll give you a swatch on the back of my hand too. So it's a very shiny. It's also similar to the Linda Hallberg lipsticks if you've tried those, but these are a little bit more on the opaque side. So I'm just gonna go ahead. What shade is this? This one is in the shade Glossed Up Rose. So I'm gonna put this on over my lip liner. Ooh, I like that. That's really, really nice. I have tried a couple of these on my lips just to, you know, kind of test them out, but I didn't use it with a lip liner. Definitely how I would want to wear them, and I feel like this color kind of goes with this look, even though this look is crazy. Let's see, how do I feel about everything I tried? Obviously, the Glamlite palette is fantastic. I mean, I don't have any complaints about it. Do I have mascara smudges on my lids? Yes, I do. Let me scrape that off. So yeah, I do love that palette a lot. The other palette that I tried, I definitely need to play more with this. Let me know if you want a video with this. I'll probably make a video regardless, if I'm being honest. This palette is currently out of stock. Probably going to restock in September at some point. So I don't know when I'll do like an in-depth video on this palette. But if you want to see some swatches, I did post some on my Instagram. So go follow me there. Let's see. I really, really like the shades that I used in this. I need to definitely figure out like really how to work with these kind of shadows because a lot of these are toppers. There's a lot of shadows that are more on the sheer side, some are more on the chunky side, some are more on the dry side, some are more on like the very metallic foiled side. So it's really hard for me to give you an opinion about this palette yet because there is so much going on in this. And that's kind of why I love it. Like, it's just such a fun palette. So yeah, I need to play more with this, but so far, love it. I think it's beautiful. Let's see, what else? The highlighter. Yep, I do not like the highlighter. I think that this is kind of meh and just kind of boring. The blush is beautiful. Really like the blush. I'm not sure it really goes that well on my skin right now. Like I said, I do think this is going to look nicer and leave a little bit less of a white cast. I feel like it's looking a little bit gray on me, but just because it is more of like a light pink blush and it's just going to look better when I don't have a tan. The lipsticks, I really like these. I'm excited to have these in my collection. So grateful that I got sent so many of them. Do you want to see a lip swatching video with these? Let me know. I can probably make one on my Instagram, do like a reel or something like that. I think I have like 8 of them. That can maybe be fun. So let me know if you want to see that. Let me know how you feel about this look. It's crazy, I'm aware. Oh, the eyeshadow primer. Do I feel like there is a difference with the eyeshadow primer? I mean, not really. I feel like both of my eyes look exactly the same, which is good because it means that the eyeshadow primer that I used is as good as the one that I already know I like from Kaleidos. Whew. So yeah, I feel like I just did a lot of talking. Also, if you want to know what is in my waterline, I used I'm all over the place. I'm so sorry. This is the white gel liner from Lethal. This is in the shade Buffer. Put that in my waterline, did some liner and mascara. Wow, this outro is the worst I think that I've ever done, but my brain is like scatterbrained right now. It is all over the place. Yeah, thank you for watching this video. If you want to see some more organized first impression videos or just, I don't know, here's a playlist. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.